I just had to share this picture with you guys. This is on my last trip. This is in Hong Kong on my way to Shenzhen, actually. And I just had to take this picture. Everything on is like between the fact that it's raining, the signs in Chinese, the light, and the 7 phones that this guy has. Like you can count them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's plugging his 6th one in, and there's one right behind his hand here. I just felt like I had entered the cyberpunk universe. It's just incredible. So anyway, I just had to share it. Welcome to the October 2023 update. Apologies to all for the delay. We've been incredibly busy, and I haven't had the time to prepare for this live stream until now. And in fact, this isn't a live stream. It's just a recorded video. I didn't want to delay it even further by, announcing the live stream and waiting a few more days, etc. So hopefully I'll answer most of everyone's questions anyway, but if not, you can always, put your comments and the team will answer you as soon as possible. So the first thing I want to talk about, and that is probably on everybody's mind, is reward redemption. When will it open? When can you select your dice and plug in your addresses, all that stuff. Unfortunately, because of a few hiccups that we've hit along the way, I'm going to have to push it back. I know a lot of you are disappointed, and I know the rest of you are probably also disappointed, but not surprised. And I can't blame you. But it's just not quite ready. I want to make sure that the website and the flow is, bulletproof for you guys, that it is delightful to use, and that everything works perfectly. So, because I also don't want to make this announcement a second time, I went ahead and decided to push it all the way back until after the holidays. So the website and pledge manager, or I should say reward redemption system, will open on January 8th. And the bonus side effect of this is that, in fact, on that day, some of the rewards will ship immediately after you make your selection. Not all of them, and I'll go into more details as to why, but at least a good portion of them will be able to ship immediately. And so in the end, I think it won't make much of a difference in terms of when you will actually get your dice. It just means that you can't go through the flow as early as I had hoped. Again, it's been so long to get to this point. I really just don't want to flub it on a technicality, if you will. So with that out of the way, hopefully you're still, sticking with us, because I have some fun things to share and update you on, which most have to do with, my last trip to China. So let's start with dice production, right? I've shared a lot of the pictures before and some of the details of the process. And so on this, second visit, I was able to actually see a lot more of it happening. Here, for instance, they actually set up those 2 workers kind of for us to watch them do the work while we were visiting. But these are putting together circuit boards around caddies, right? And actually the gentleman in the middle with the fantastic golden belt is the factory boss. I just I just love everything about this. The pose, the belt, the everything. It's just I love it. But anyway, and actually in the back here, all those boxes are ours. They're a bunch of circuit boards and caddies, and I think maybe counterweights or something like that. Anyway, the parts that they need to assemble all the dice in the different colors. Obviously, this is a big factory that we're working with, and so they can scale, production up and down. But for the moment, for this demo, they only had like a couple workers. But anyway, but you know, in the same place, they actually had a little bit of stock already, like ready to go out, basically. And so this is what I'm checking out here. A bunch more. And making a mess. Anyway, so
3D dice display.
yeah, we've seen these D20s. You know, we know they're good, but it's nice to just see like a ton of them at once. It's fantastic. These will actually, you know, then go from this to the final assembly factory, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But the other part of my visit to the casting factory was to check on the other dice, of course. And you'll see here, this is me inspecting, you know, the dice that they're made, and clearly, you know, I'm thinking about something and something's not right. I'm thinking about it really hard. And what I'm looking at actually is this. This is a D4, right? Before they cut off the extra material and polish it. And it shouldn't look like this. So if you've made dice before, you probably think that this looks like 3D printed lines, 3D printing lines. And there shouldn't be 3D printing lines because these molds were not made from 3D printed masters, right? And so not only they shouldn't be there, but there's also a step right here that should not be there. And so I'm really, you know, I'm really perturbed by that as I'm looking. And eventually we figured it out. The mold, right, is clearly has the same mark. And it's just that the mold making factory, when they made the masters, right, which are machined, actually forgot a step, right? And you can tell here, actually, if you look, so you can see the pattern. And basically what happened is they forgot the last milling pass. If you can see, the 2 here is actually sort of beveled, right? And that's also because they forgot to do the final pass. So anyway, it's the small, you know, details like this that, you know, we go and find and ask them to fix. And it's really, they're not very difficult. You just have to be, you know, pay extra attention, you know, and look at everything, check everything. For instance, we've had another few small issues like, oh, they just were overly aggressive with the sanding and the polishing on this D6. So they sent it right through the counterweight. They also somehow managed to like not put resin on the LEDs. So anyway, so we're working on this with them. We've actually had, you know, most of the PIP D6 come out correctly, but like this batch didn't, and we don't know why. You know, other random issues that basically you discover, you know, when you go, is like, oh, they forgot on the mold, they didn't have the bar here, they just didn't put it in. And this is a problem with the molding factory again. The die on the left here was made from a 3D printed master, right? The one on the right is one that's made with the special mold and machine masters. But anyway, but that's also an easy fix, right? They'll add the bar correctly. You know, another one, sort of a bonehead mistake. They like milled a little bit too much on the tip of the 4 in the 40 for the percentile dice. So they're going to fix that too, and you know, etc. So all these things pretty easy. Overall, it was a very good sort of validation visit. It just, you know, takes a little bit extra time every time to just, you know, send it back, get it fixed, get it back, validate again before you can scale up again. But it, you know, like I said, overall, it was still really good. We got a bunch of dice that are perfectly good. Even the 6 here, you can see in this picture, right? The factory was able to just fix the 6 by lasering the bar, right? So they didn't even waste the die. And then for the 4s, of course, they just polished more. But yeah, so, you know, it was really, really fun to, you know, see all the production again and smell the resin, which for some reason has an interesting smell. I don't know. It's fun. Anyway, moving on. The other thing that we worked with the resin factory on is actually this. I'm going to play the video here. And if you'll have to excuse the shaky cam footage. I want you to pay attention to the die on the left and compare it with the other two here. You don't have to worry about these two on the right. Notice how this die, the number are really hard to read when the die is off, right? And so what we've been doing is working with the factory to find a sort of a translucent white paint that they could use on the numbers so that the numbers would be more readable when the dice are turned off, or like, you know, after you roll and the die played its animation and then it's off, but still not, you know, opaque enough to block most of the light. And it's been a really, difficult back and forth of like tweaking the values so that we get to a point where, as you can see here, and again, sorry for the shaky cam, the brightness is almost exactly the same between the two, right? So we're still tweaking. We're still working out some of the details, like for the final look of the paint, making sure that it, you know, looks professional, etc. But I think this will be a worthy sort of a tweak to the onyx and hematite dice. So, excuse me, on the second sort of focus of my visit was final assembly, right? So the first part is making the dice, and that's the part that has the most unknowns, right? The second part, final assembly, is putting everything together in a nice package, in a nice box, so we can, you know, ship them to you guys. And it's much less of an unknown. It's just more of a organizational, you know, thing, right? Like you have to get all the parts in the right place at the, you know, at the factory, and get all the people trained to do the assembly correctly and verify and test everything, right? And so, you know, these are a few pictures of materials coming in. And here is me taking a small video of, you know, an assembly line, which I'm pretty sure they also set up because we were visiting, right? But that's okay. It looks pretty much the same when they actually make huge batches at once. What I'm pointing out right now are called SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures, and they're documents we have to generate for them to assemble everything, to know everything that they need to do. Hold on, I want to play that again. Come back. Because I want to give a special shout out to, where is it? Oh, it's going to take a second. The cardboard box used by this guy doing the testing. So this guy with the cardboard box on the right there is using the app that we developed and that I've shown in updates before to do the testing, and it uses the RGB LEDs to find the Bluetooth device that it's trying to test, right? Because it's in a factory with a million other dice, but we're having issues with the lights, so they just use the cardboard box to protect it. Anyway, so you see the SOPs for the testing and the boxes where he's gonna put the dice in once he's done, and the printer that prints the label, and this lady's actually just waiting for the for the next one to come in. And so, you know, eventually it gets put into a box, it gets a label, and I took a picture of it because I'm a proud papa. And this is what it looks like, right? So ultimately, this will be a lot more useful for like once the dice, you know, hit retail or something. For the moment, it's really just for tracking. But yeah, I like that there's a picture. We actually also made the software that prints the sticker with all the information, etc. So I'm just also really proud of that. And then eventually, because you know, this is the most important job, I had to put the sticker on the box. So, and I was ridiculously proud of this, just, you know, dumb moment.
Good job.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right? So we're getting there.
One is already enough.
Yeah, it's just much too eager there. Just want to put more stickers. But yeah, so like, the final assembly validation and and all that and verifying everything went pretty smoothly. Honestly, there was like just minor issues that we had to tweak. Actually, that had to do with the printing the sticker at the last minute. Everything else, it went pretty well. Which is not to say that everything went smoothly, as you will see right here. So, yeah, you can probably tell it should close. It's not closing. This is the large charging case, right? And clearly there's something happened, right, between design and manufacturing, that the cases don't close correctly. So we're going to fix this and, revalidate and then rescale up again a little bit, etc. In fact, this is one of the reasons that I said that not all rewards will be able to ship right away. The sets are waiting on the large charging cases to be all, ready to go. And so I expect that there's going to be an extra month or two delay for those. And so, even though some of like if you get singles dice, they'll probably be ready to ship right away in January. The sets, I cannot make that promise. I think it's probably going to be another month or two after that. In any case, that was, most of the updates I had to share for this month. We're working really hard to, make all the dice as perfect as we can. I know it might seem like we're paying attention to too many details sometimes, but those are important to us, and ultimately we ask a lot of money for them, so we want them to be as good as they can be, right? And for instance, a non-closing case we just not do, right? So hopefully by the time you get yours, you'll see the quality and you'll agree with us that it was all worth it. In the meantime, I think I'm going to thank you all again for your patience. Apologies for this update being so late. Apologies for pushing the opening of the reward redemption, pledge manager, whatever you want to call it. But again, it's going to be on January 8th. It could be sooner. And if it is, we will let you know, of course. And this will be the date where, the website is available for everyone to browse and look at all the products. However, only backers will be able to go into and redeem their rewards, add to their pledges if they want. And then at some point after that, we will open pre-orders for all non-backers, right? And even at that point, if for some reason there's, more delays with production, backers will always have priority, and we won't fulfill any pre-orders until backers are completely taken care of, right? So yeah, I want to thank you all again. I don't know if the next update will be live or not. Probably it'll be a text update, since I think we've tried to do, alternate. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the few pictures and videos. I'm really proud of where we've gotten. I wish we'd gotten here faster, but I'm glad to be here at all. So I will see you all soon, and bye-bye.